It is Christmas Eve here and we have all the food things going on in this kitchen today. So we are not vlogging necessarily right now, but we did want to share a recipe video with you. If you're like us, after any holiday where there's a lot of food involved, for the next few days you just want something very easy and something healthy. And if you're like us, you might end up with fast food sometimes or pizza because you don't have anything around. So it's really nice when you can find some easy, healthy recipes to have around in the kitchen, and even better if you make them ahead of time. Today we are making two really simple meals that are very good, that are pretty healthy, I think. We're actually incorporating these into our Christmas celebrations, but I know we're gonna have leftovers, which is gonna be very helpful in the days after Christmas. They are two meals that we have been making a lot lately because they're so easy. One of them I cook and one of them Solo cooks. We will be making a version of Sukuma Wiki, which we've shared before. It's a Kenyan dish, but we're making it with ground beef and it's really easy and really good. And we'll be eating that Christmas Day with our other food. And then I'm going to make a white chicken chili in the pressure cooker. We are serving that tonight, Christmas Eve, when we're having some friends and family over for dinner because we're just doing soup night. Luka over here has also been making a ham potato cheese soup, and it is really good. Every time I talk about it, a lot of people ask for the recipe. I'm just going to link that recipe in the description box below. I'm not gonna show you exactly how we make that one because I want to keep this video somewhat short. That one is not very healthy and it's not as quick, but it's very good. My kids love it. They requested it and they're making it too. So let's get started. All right, well, Solo browned the meat for his meal and realized that we did not have any spinach left. So in true Christmas Eve fashion, he has run to the store to be with the masses of people that are there for that last minute item, I'm sure. Poor Solo. So I'm gonna make mine first. I am starting with 4 large chicken breasts at the bottom of my Instant Pot. Mine are kind of even frozen together, but it's okay. They'll thaw out. I think you can do this thawing your chicken breasts ahead of time, but I have done it a couple times with them frozen solid and it works great, so. Next I'm gonna do beans. A lot of times to save money, I cook my beans ahead and I freeze them in like these small jar, like small mason jar sizes, and it's about the size of a can, and then just dump them in. But today, to save time, I picked up a few cans just because I currently don't have anything frozen. Next we have 2 cans of black beans rinsed and drained and 2 cans of white beans rinsed and drained. I just used these great northern beans for white beans. And you'll have to excuse my messy kitchen. We got a lot of cooks in the kitchen today. I wouldn't say too many cooks because I love it. But we do have a mess to show for it. I'm going to dump these right on top of that chicken. Next, we're gonna throw in 1 onion chopped up. I'm just using a yellow onion, and I really can't do it with one hand. Next, I'm doing corn. I'm doing 2 bags of frozen corn. We get the big bags of frozen vegetables, and it comes with smaller bags, so I'm just using 2 of these. You could use 2 cans of corn, or even just 1 is fine. Okay, next we're gonna do 2 cans of tomatoes that have chilies in them. Diced chilies and tomatoes. We'll throw in a couple cans of that. The next step is a can of broth. I'm using beef broth because I don't have chicken broth. And if I'm out of it, I have used water. So just, this is how I freeze my beans too, in this size mason jar. But I freeze chicken broth and beef broth in here too. I've already thawed this. And yeah, like I said, I would use water too. Oops, I gotta thaw it a little more. Good thing I have a microwave. While that's finishing up, I'm gonna throw in a teaspoon of chili powder, 2 teaspoons of cumin, and a special ingredient. Okay, I did 1 teaspoon of chili, 2 teaspoons of cumin, and this here is a ranch seasoning. I got this recipe out of the, Trim Healthy Mama cookbook. And you can see how great I am at doing things one-handed here. You could just buy a ranch packet and put it in there. I think you could use 1 or 2 ranch packets. I did 2 tablespoons of this ranch seasoning. You could also Google a ranch seasoning. So I originally found this recipe on Natasha's Kitchen, and we've adjusted it a little bit. So I will link that down below though for you. And the last thing we're gonna do is 2 packages of cream cheese on top. If you're used to eating chili with cheese and sour cream, you won't even need the cheese and sour cream because it's kind of all in one. Okay, here's the final result. Obviously it comes really far to the top. I don't know if it's even recommended to fill your pressure cooker this full, but there is a lot of room under the frozen chicken breasts too, just because I put them in a clump, and it cooks down So it will be okay. I've done it this way many times. I'm gonna seal that and put it on. Oh, I hear my chicken broth. I mean my beef broth, that reminded me. Gotta pour in the rest of that. And I'm gonna do high pressure for 20 minutes. Then I'm gonna let it release on its own a little bit, or for at least 10 minutes or until I remember it. I'll come back to show you that one when it's done. You know it's a major Christmas Eve operation when you gotta have lists to remind you what you're doing. And this is me over here trying to make sure I drink all my water, which as you can see I haven't done very much of today. Here is Luka's soup that looks amazing, tastes amazing too.
So if you saw my last Sukuma Wiki video, I probably mentioned how it's a staple food for Kenyans. They make it in many variable ways. You could do it just totally vegetarian. You could do it with meat. You could do it. So I'm going to show you a second way to do it. This time I'm going to do it with ground beef. So the first thing I did is I browned the meat, some ground beef, and I drained it. So it's already drained. And what second step I'm going to do right here is saute some onions. I'm using coconut oil. You can use any kind of oil that you like. I think it doesn't really matter. And I'm using Worcestershire sauce. I know some of them will say it's Worcestershire, whatever you call it. With my now I eyeball everything. I'm sorry for the recipe, people. Let's turn that down. If you'd seen my last video on this, I probably use frozen collard greens. This time I'm gonna use kale, and it's not frozen. So we typically use collard greens or kale. So it's ready to go.
But you did use it chopped, which is a nice time saver. Already yes. Chopped.
Yes. So just for those who like measurements and stuff, that was 2 pounds of ground beef, and this is 2 bags of kale. I know it will shrink by the time it's done.
They're each 10 ounces, I think.
I don't think I'm gonna get quite 2. Maybe I'll do. We'll see.
This is a huge pot.
It's a huge pot, so I also all these things gonna. It's
you
all
have
gonna,
one more on the burner there, back there.
I do.
We're making kale chips.
There we go. Last time I also used frozen spinach, and that's what I wanted to use today, but they didn't have it. I waited too long.
Was Walmart a zoo?
It was a zoo, to say the least. Yes.
There are a lot of people going in for the last couple ingredients they forgot, probably.
Oh yeah, I think it was more full. No, the grocery wasn't nearly as bad as the other part.
Oh, it's the last minute gifts.
You could always find something at Walmart, by the way. So.
Yeah.
So there we go. I think that's as much as I'm gonna get in there. I'm gonna take this as a can of crushed tomato. I'm gonna get that baby all around. Again, this thing is gonna shrink. I'm gonna have it on medium heat right now. I guess I get more spinach in now. It's already shrinking just as we talk. I'm doing all that just to allow them. I'm gonna get more spinach since I created the room.
Micah's over here making some pumpkin pies.
Oh, that hurts.
Oh, you cut yourself on the can?
Yeah, this part.
Ooh, be careful.
Where's my saw? Somewhere around here.
Oh, there's some ladies gasping right now, I know.
Call it what you want, but I want to say that's about a teaspoon. Maybe a tablespoon.
2 teaspoons.
It's one of those.
Maybe more.
I don't think so. It wasn't that much.
A tablespoon is like 3 teaspoons.
And then right now, no, it's not quite a tablespoon. That's less than a tablespoon. I'll cover it in medium heat for a little bit.
Okay, how long? About 5 minutes?
About 5 minutes. We'll see.
We'll be back.
After the commercial.
Yeah. Okay, this wasn't even quite 5 minutes.
No, it wasn't. And I was afraid that it would stick because when you use frozen, there is a lot more moisture there. Oh. So what I did, I put about I don't know, I put a little bit of water underneath, not much at all, just to make sure that it doesn't stick. So I raised up the heat after mixing it up a little bit, and that should give me about 5 minutes. So anyway, I said 5 minutes, but that was way too much. I made a correction. It only needed 2 minutes, and now I have it turned off. I'm actually gonna move it to a cooler spot. 2 minutes after I closed it, that was completely enough.
This meal might be even quicker than mine, even with browning the meat, because it's fast.
Now this depends on how much you like dairy. What would you call this?
No, 2 eggs.
I'm gonna do about...
I call it sour cream. I'm just kidding. A cup, maybe, with that?
Maybe a cup, yep. A cup of sour cream. Look at that, mixed in.
You can definitely do it without the cream.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah.
When we eat this meal, as a meal, like this we're making for Christmas, it's gonna be a side dish. And we do it, by the way, as a side dish without the meat a lot of times too. But we put the meat in to make it a meal for you guys. When we eat it as a meal, we'll eat it with rice on the side, or we eat it with ugali, which is a Kenyan staple. It's a starch. Or what else do we eat it with? I like it just plain.
You get it with chapatis.
It's a good keto meal when it's just plain.
Yeah.
And I put it in a bowl and eat it. And yeah, we eat it with chapatis or tortillas. You know.
Bread.
It's good with all things.
And just like that, it's ready for consumption. Let's see how long it will last.
Yeah. Here is the finished product. And so now I'm gonna stir it in so that cream cheese gets stirred in well. Micah, could you bring me the KitchenAid bowl? And we're gonna shred this chicken.
KitchenAid bowl?
Uh-huh.
Why does everyone else need the KitchenAid?
Because...
Oh, I need the KitchenAid bowl.
No, I need a KitchenAid bowl.
It has brownies in it.
Oh no.
I
Okay, I'm gonna shred this up in the KitchenAid bowl. And then I'm gonna put it back in here, and hopefully I'll show you the end product. The KitchenAid just shreds it in seconds. Yep, that's it. That took about 10 seconds, literally. Yeah, less than that. Okay, that's the end. That's the finished results. It's really good. All our people are here. I'll show you around really quick. There's Mighty. There's Abigail. There's Chris. There's Sam is somewhere.